Good morning to all of you. My name is Surya Zainal. I work with the Malaysian Timber Council, and I've come together with my lovely SIPG sisters to run this program for all of you. So Sheila Chandran is here, and she is actually a certified trainer for the 7 Habits. Or she used to be, she tells me. And Sheila, can you let us know that for a course like this, how much you would charge per participant?
Per participant, 5,200 ringgit.
Okay, so that's the value. 5,200 ringgit, but it's run over a few days because, you know, for you to be able to understand the 7 habits, you know, it takes a few days. But I can tell you this. This course is based on this book, okay? The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is by Stephen Covey. Unfortunately, he has passed on. It was a bicycle accident. But I can assure you, if you integrate the 7 habits into your life, you will really be not just successful, but also happy and fulfilled. And you know, I'm sure at this stage of your lives, the thing that's uppermost on your mind is success, right? It's all about money, money, money. Am I right? Okay. So if there's one book that you're going to read, if there's only one book you need to read in your life, make it this one. But my advice is, read a lot more than just one book, please. Alright, let's start. Okay. So what do you want out of life? Happiness. What else? Marriage. You want to get married. How young are you?
I'm 18.
18! You're 20 and you want to get married.
Yeah. But not now.
Not now. Okay, so you have a planning as to when you want to get married? Find a job and then find a wife. In that order. Okay, that sounds good to me. No planning. Okay, right. Okay. Today we're going to learn all about planning. Okay. What's your name? Abu. Okay. Can we call you Ash today? Yes. Ash. Okay. Thank you, Ash. All right. So somebody said happiness. Yeah. Happy family. What else? You know. You might want a good job, yeah, and everybody wants a good job, right? You know, successful, and then of course with that job comes lots of money, and with that, you know, you may want to buy a nice condo or house, and you want to buy your Audi TT or your you know, fancy cars or whatever. Who loves fancy cars? Yeah, what's your favorite model? Audi. Oh, that's an Audi. Especially for you. And you want to travel the world. Who loves to travel? Ah, okay, wow, I see so many hands shooting up. Okay. So where was the last interesting place that you traveled to? What's your name? Sorry? Houghton, okay. Australia, Sydney. Oh, I love Sydney. It's nice. You enjoyed the cafes there, and you went to Bondi Beach.
I just went for my father's business trip.
Ah, you followed him. Okay, all right. And I'm sure there are many, many places that you have in your mind that you want to travel to, right? Okay. And of course, you know, as you get on, as you know, progress in your life, you might want to do some charity work, like what these wonderful ladies are doing. Okay. So the question is, how will you get it? How will you get it? You know, you can, of course. Some of you right now are studying hard, and you're going to get your scroll, hopefully. Who's going to graduate this year? Anybody graduating this year? Already graduated. Okay, and now looking for a job.
This Monday I will start my job.
Oh, congratulations! So where will you be working, Ash?
What?
Abu. Where will you be working? Oh, in what job? An animator. Excellent. Okay. congratulations to Abu. Okay. And, sorry? Radio, okay. And of course, you know, when you're in a job, of course, you know, you want to give your best, you want to work hard and all that. This is one way to get it. But some people, they also get it as they get on in the workplace. Some of you, when you start working, you might find, you might encounter this, you know, either people are backstabbing you because they want to get ahead, or, God forbid, you yourself start the backstabbing. Okay, so, and you pijak orang lain to get ahead. So these are not the right ways to get ahead, yeah? Everything is energy. Whatever energy you send out will come back to you. Whatever you might do to whatever you do to others might also come back to you. Okay? So let's talk about a habit. What is a habit? Okay? This is just a definition of a habit, which is a subtle or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. Tell me, who's got a bad habit here? Come on, fess up. What's your bad habit? Procrastinating. Okay, that's also mine. And yours? You bite your nails? Oh wow, well, why do you do that? Anxiety. Okay, we can talk about anxiety later. So, sorry, what's your name? Irvina. Why do you procrastinate?
I just feel like not doing something and then push it to the later to.
Yeah, it's always, you know, it's now or never sometimes for certain things, but in a lot of cases, okay, trying to fix it. Okay, we'll see how we can fix it today, okay? So, they've done some research and they say that it takes 21 days to create a new habit. 21 days. Is that a long time? No. Okay, so we can try. Okay, next I want to talk about what makes up a good personality. This list is not exhaustive. There might be other qualities that make up a good personality. Okay, you can have somebody who's confident, somebody with humor, somebody who's light-hearted. Of course, people who are nice, people who are cool. Okay, and you can read the list yourself. But this is personality. You know, sometimes you have courses. Oh, how to. Last week we had a grooming course by Cynthia So, and that was very, very good. Yeah, and there are other courses that that teach you how to be a better person on the outside. Okay, but at the end of the day, to be a good, effective person, you have to start from the inside. So you have to start from your character, from building your character. Okay, what is a character? What is a character? Can someone tell me? Perwatakan is the Malay word for it. What's your name? Amirin. What do you think is, what is it?
To me, it's one that others thing that shapes you, what makes you you.
Okay, I think that's a very good answer. What makes you you? Okay, Intan, this is my niece. Okay, so Intan, think of, let me give you a name. Can somebody give me a name of a famous person? Dr. Mahathir. Dr. Mahathir. What kind of character do you think he has?
Without missing that, understanding.
Outspoken, yes. What else? Creative. There's one word also that starts with C. Charisma, yes, charismatic. You see, when people think of Dr. Mahathir, Tun Mahathir actually, Tun Mahathir is like, you know, people quickly associate him with charisma. It's like he's a charismatic, you know, person. Tony Fernandez, charismatic person. No? Tan Sri Robert Kwok. Does anybody know Tan Sri Robert Kwok? Do you know who he is? Okay. Malaysia's richest man. So he is also a very charismatic person. But you see, a lot of these people, it is actually not money that make them charismatic. What makes them charismatic? There are also a lot of people with, not a lot of money, but you see they're also charismatic. Mother Teresa, do you think she was charismatic? Yeah. Dalai Lama, does the Dalai Lama have lots of money? No, right? But is he charismatic? Yeah. So there's so many world leaders that are charismatic, so it doesn't depend on money. Okay? This is one definition by Abraham Lincoln. Reputation is the shadow, character is the tree. So you see a tree there, and this is, in the middle of winter, and you see that shadow. When the sun is from a certain angle, the shadow might be short, or the shadow might be long, depending on the sun, okay? Depending on the sun's position. But does the tree change? No, right? The tree is still a tree. So that tree is your character. That shadow is your reputation or your personality. Okay? Right. So what is good character? Good character are distinctive qualities that determine how a person thinks, feels, and acts, regardless of whether he or she is in front of people. That means it guides you on your thoughts, on what you say, on what you do, even when you are within the confines or the privacy of your room, when nobody is looking at you. Okay? And a person with good character demonstrates core ethical values, and these core ethical values, they are highest of all human values. And these are pretty universal, these human values. Okay? I have yet to see a religion that advocates you to kill or to maim or to murder your neighbors, okay? And the ones that do in the name of religion, I think, have taken religion in vain. This is my personal view. But I read the Buddhist texts, I read the Bible, I read the Quran, and so far I haven't found anything in there that says if somebody disagrees with you on a point of religion, or if somebody has a different God, he or she should be killed. I have yet to find that one. So if you can find that, let me know. Okay, elements of good character, you're trustworthy, you're respectful, you're responsible, you are fair, you're caring, and of course citizenship is about our interrelationship with our community. Okay? So, how do you develop good character? Can this be done overnight? Can this be done overnight? No, absolutely not. So, can we read this together? Okay? We sow our thoughts, we reap our actions. We sow our actions and we reap our habits. We sow our habits and we reap our characters. We sow our characters and we reap our destiny. Sorry, I didn't realize. This guy is totally alone. Do you really want to sit there on your own, or do you want to move to that group there? You okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, what does this mean? That the word sowing itself is a key word here. What do you do when you want to grow a tree? What do you sow? You sow a seed. Correct. You sow a seed. And how long does it take for you to grow a tree? A long time. You cannot sow the seed today and expect the tree to grow tomorrow. You can't expect to have a tree tomorrow, okay? I work with the Malaysian Timber Council, so I know that for a fact. Yeah, we do help plant lots of trees also, okay? And so it's important to know that we need to have good habits in order to sow, in order to reap our characters, okay? And with a good character, we are able to reap our destiny and our dreams. So, according to Stephen Covey, okay, what is a habit? It's an intersection of knowledge, skill, and desire, okay? Knowledge is about what to do. Why should I do it? Skill is about how I can do it, okay? And desire is why I want to do it. Yeah, sometimes people procrastinate because they cannot find a higher purpose of wanting to do it. Okay, and I'm also guilty of procrastination, not just you. Okay, so creating a habit requires work in all these three areas. And when you have good habits, you are an effective person. Okay, but creating good habits may be a painful process. So who has sorry, what was your good habit? Sorry, what was your bad habit today? Biting your nails. Yeah. And how do you think you can stop this process? You have tried. Yeah. You know what my sister used to do to some of the children? She would take this, sorry, not my sister, my auntie, long time ago. She would take this, there is this herb called Aka Brotowali. Brotowali. It's very, very bitter, and she would actually put it at the fingernails of her babies, of her toddlers, so they wouldn't bite the nails because it was very bitter. It was a real put off. And you know, just a slight bit, it would like stay in your throat like for the next 2-3 hours. I know, I've tried it. So that worked, okay? But yeah, sometimes changing a bad habit is a painful process. Who smokes? Come, show of hands. You smoke, okay.
Tell the truth, come on.
Tell the truth, come on. Okay. So, how much do you spend on cigarettes a month? Yeah, a month. $14 times 3. How much is that? 42. 14 times 30. 14 ringgit. 14 ringgit a day. Wow, okay. Can someone do the math, please? 14 times 30. 420. Wow, that's a lot of money. Sorry, what's your name? Faisal, okay. 420 ringgit a month on cigarettes, okay. Would you like to change that habit, Faisal? Have you tried? You haven't? Okay, why not? Susah, okay. Susah, that's why. When you want to change a bad habit, there is always some pain involved, okay? And when I was younger, you know, I don't know why, I used to walk like that. And people used to tease me because like my feet would go that way, you know. And this was, at one point I said, no, I have to learn to walk straight. So I consciously every day started to walk straight. At first it wasn't straight, it was like, you know, very like Charlie Chaplin like that, okay? And because of the many, many years of walking in a different way, and now I was telling my body to walk in a different way, you know, my knees were really, really painful. But I went on with it. And after 30 days, the pain became less and less, and now I'm walking straight with no pain in my knees, thank God. I don't walk like a penguin. People used to tease me, you know, Surya, you walk like a penguin. I said, really? And you know, it's, well, it wasn't, they meant well, of course, but you know, I've changed that habit. But that involved some pain, okay? So to change a bad habit, it will involve pain. So I just want to share with you what you can achieve with the 7 habits. Okay, this is called the maturity progression. And there are various levels of maturity. The first level is dependence. You know, when you were born, when you were a small child, okay, it was all about people taking care of you. You take care of me, you come through for me, or mommy didn't support me, I blame my father, I blame you. And especially for a baby or a small child, you know, you had to have your pampers changed, you had to be fed, and then, you know, you had to be sent to school and so forth. And now, most of you are at the second level, but maybe not fully independent, you know. Most of you can drive. How many people can drive? It's nice, right? It's nice to be able to drive, right? Yeah? Huh? Not always. Why not always? Oh, jam, okay. Are you already working? Not yet? No, okay. But once you start working in KL, then you learn to find ways to overcome that. When you're doing your internship, yeah, okay. So you have to find ways. Actually, there's so many things you can do in a jam, so many productive things. Learn a new language by listening. You know, there are so many things. I sometimes, but don't read anything in the car, please. Okay, that's dangerous. But this is what I do. Sometimes I listen to some of the, you know, those people of you who got iPhones and all that. You know, you have this ad for some of the podcasts, some of the lectures given at universities on various subjects. So I do that. You know, I just listen, and it's just, you know, you just learn something new. Just create a habit for you to learn something new every day. Okay? And independence is about I can do it. I choose to do it. You know, and I'm self-reliant. I am responsible. But there is another level of maturity and interdependence. Now it's about we, you know, together we can do it. We can cooperate, we can combine our abilities and all our talents and our resources to create something wonderful, to create something bigger. I'm sure at some stage of your university life or whatever, you have been involved in projects and stuff like that. So there was a lot of cooperation, synergy, that was all about the power of we. And unless you intend to live like a hermit, unless you intend to, you know, go to some goa somewhere, some cave somewhere, this is something that we need to develop to become more effective people. Because you alone, you know, might not be able to achieve much. But when we put our resources together, there's so many things that we can do. All right. Life is by nature actually highly interdependent, you know. We have the physical. The physical part is, as I said, you know, I'm self-reliant and capable, but you and I working together can achieve more than I could accomplish alone. So for example, if we were to move that piano to the center of the room, can I do it alone? I can? You think I can? I think it's 500, at least 500 kg there. Yeah, even with the rotor, it's, you know. But together, you know, maybe 5 or 6 of us, we will be able to move it. So physically, that's how we work together. And then emotionally, you know, I'm sure a lot of you have a sense of self-worth, but it's nice to be loved. Yeah? It's nice to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It's nice to have somebody to send Valentine's cards to you. Why did you nudge him? He's got a girlfriend? Do you have a girlfriend?
Yes.
Is she here with you? Oh no, okay. But it's nice. Emotionally, you know, we recognize the need for love, for giving and for receiving love from others. Okay? And then intellectually, you know, we all can think of great ideas. But again, going back to that project, you know, when you do projects together, you put your thinking cap with others and sometimes you can achieve something a lot more. It's a quote by Helen Keller. Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. And this happens at every level of our lives. At the country level, for example. In nature, you know, we're at the top of the food chain, you know. Plants become food for animals, and the animals become food for humans. In terms of teamwork, so all this, we need to think about interdependence at every stage of our lives. So why are we learning the 7 habits? Is it to earn lots of money? Partly. But what if, you work so hard that you alienate your girlfriend or your spouse, and then you end up fighting? And then you end up not talking to each other. And then you end up alone. Is there a point in life? There's no point. There's no point in being successful and all that if you don't have your loved ones to share it with. Yeah? So, I just want to put this quote in because it's very important. It says, if you don't have integrity, you have nothing. You cannot buy it. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're not a moral and ethical person, you really have nothing. Okay? And integrity is not just about... integrity is something that you cannot buy from the supermarket shelf. It's something that you must develop within yourselves. Yeah? Okay, just in a nutshell, what are the 7 habits of effectiveness? I put it in a table, okay? The first 3 are about your personal mastery. It's about being proactive. It's about beginning with the end in mind. And it's about putting things first. Okay, putting first things first, sorry. And in terms of public victories, which is how you relate to other people, it's about thinking win-win. And then the 5th one is about seeking first to understand, then be understood. And then synergize. And finally, you need to sharpen the saw. Okay? And a few weeks ago, Ms. Sheila Chandran gave you an exercise of self-discovery. Do you remember that? Yes. Who said yes? What was it about? You did the exercise this morning. Excellent. What's your name? Rose. Excellent, Rose. Can you share that with us? Would you like to share that with us? Sheila, here's one person who did your homework. I love you guys. Think of a person who made a positive difference in your life. What qualities does that person have that you would like to develop?
Loyalty.
Who's this person? This person who has made a positive difference, or you don't want to share that with us?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, that's fine. Loyalty and?
More loving.
Ah, okay.
Excellent. So I see you've completed all the questions. Maybe we can discuss that later. And Sheila is also here. We can discuss that with Sheila. Okay. Thanks for that, Rose. Okay. Now, let's go to one of the habits, one by one. Okay? The first habit is about being proactive. Okay? I want to show something about being reactive and being proactive. What is this scene? Walking in the rain. It's a rainy day. It looks like, it's very heavy rain. So when it rains, how do you feel?
Cool.
What else? Do you like rain?
Sometimes. It depends.
Sometimes. Is heavy rain bad? You hate rain. Okay, why do you hate rain? Nanti basah. Okay. Can you all remember about a year ago when we had a dry spell, when the country had a dry spell? And what was everyone praying for? Rain. That's right. So, is rain good or bad? It depends. Actually, rain is neutral. Rain is neutral. Rain is just rain. But you can think of it as, oh my God, it's such a bleak day. But the truth is that it is just a wet day. Rain is just a wet day. So what do you do when the day is wet? You just go out with an umbrella. Correct? Okay? And some people, oh, rain, let's play in the rain. So, there you go. And then, of course, there are situations where you have, okay, I wouldn't mention the Kelantan situation, the floods and all that, because that was all due to a lot of irresponsible land clearing, not logging, okay? Land clearing, because they were clearing a lot of land to establish the Ladang Rakyat, but they didn't do it in the right way. And it was also done at the wrong time of the year. So that's what caused the massive floods, okay? So this is a perfect example of reactive versus proactive. Rain is such a neutral thing, but how we react to it, So you see how you actually have the power to look at things differently from the inside out, okay? Being proactive is about choosing wisely, okay? So for example, you have the stimulus, you have a response. I mentioned rain, one person says it's bad, one person says it's good, another person says it depends, okay? So that's your response. So what actually happens? The process in between is called the freedom to choose. You choose your reaction, okay? If I tell you, right, from the 1st of April, we're going to implement the GST. What's your reaction? So that's that is the law. We can't do anything. So if you cannot do anything about it, what do?
You earn more, and then you try to have the mind of like sharing and giving to others from your heart.
Okay, I think that's an excellent answer. So we learn there are things that we cannot change, that we have to learn to adapt. Okay? So in terms of the freedom to choose, she said the right thing, you know, she recognizes that there's nothing we can do about the GST. We all have to pay GST. So are cigarettes more expensive now, Faisal, with the GST? Yeah? Previously, before 1st April, how much? Sorry? Now it's 40. Wow, 50 cents up. Okay. 50 cents extra a day that we have to spend on cigarettes if we smoke. Okay? Thank God I don't. So, the freedom to choose depends on your self-awareness. You choose your response according to also your imagination. And what else? Your conscience. And your independent will. Okay, these 4 things, self-awareness, imagination, conscience, independent will. This is what separates us from what? The beasts, yeah, from animals. You know, animals, they also have a heart, they also physiologically, we're not that much different from, say, the orangutan or an ape or a monkey, correct? But what is the major difference between the orangutan and us? That we have the self-awareness, we have our independent will, we have our imagination, and we have the conscience to choose differently. Okay? So if you don't exercise all these 4 things, what does that make you? Auntie Kim says orangutan, yeah, quite right. Okay. Now, I'm going to do a short exercise now on reactive versus proactive. Okay. To do this in a group. Okay. So, what's your name? Sorry. Nicholas. You want to join? Because we need to discuss this. This is a group exercise. So maybe you can join. There's one seat there, and there's also one seat here. Okay. Can you all, 5 of you, discuss the answers to this? And 5 of you, 5 of you, 4 of you, and 5 of you. Okay? 5 of you. Okay? You with your group members on possible proactive responses to the following. Reactive is, you're never on time. Why can't you behave properly? My boss is always on my case. My paycheck is too small for my survival. Jobs are difficult to come by these days. I'm not good enough. Malaysia is a terrible country to live in. Exercising regularly is too hard to do. Okay, can you discuss with your group members an example? It's raining. It's a terrible day. A proactive response would be, it's just a wet day. I will go out and take an umbrella with me. Yes. Okay. Discuss with your group members on the best proactive response to all those statements. I'm going to give you 10 minutes on this one, or less, 5 minutes.
Alright guys.
Typing once. Start small.
It's not necessarily have to be a statement.
Kalau dah sini, kalau dia mengentak, so kita tutup dia. Kan? Kan? Kalau susah,
Why can't you behave? Can't you behave yourself?
It's like telling people doing something. How come you have such a special personality?
Oh, okay. So, can you please can change the word.
You behave properly.
What about, okay, when you think of language, like I can't. There's so many different things. Yeah, broaden your scopes. Positive ideology.
What would you say?
All right. Can we have a representative from each group to come up here? Okay. And tell us. And tell us what the group answers are. There are no right or wrong answers here, okay?
All right, listen up.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Morning.
Come further to the front, please.
The reactive responses. Number one, you are never on time. Well, the proactive responses is, can you make an effort to come early tomorrow?
Excellent. Yeah, it's an excellent project.
Number two, why can't you behave properly? It will be nice if it would be nice if you could behave properly. Is that right? Number three, my boss is always on my case. My boss cares too much about me. He's such a loving. My paycheck is too small for my survival. Alhamdulillah, I have money to survive. Jobs are difficult to come by these days. I can make my own job. Yeah, freelance. Business. Jual burger. Number six, I'm not good enough. I can be better, or I can be anything. Malaysia is a terrible country to live in. Malaysia is better. Malaysia is better country other than the war comfort. The war torn. Yes. Number 8, exercising regularly is hard to do. I'm happy when I'm healthy.
Yeah, excellent.
Thank you.
All right, next group. Back there.
Writing group.
Still writing.
Writing group.
Come up here and share with us your answers.
Hello, folks. Sorry, a different response. You're never on time. Please be always on time. Okay? Why can't you behave properly? Please be nice.
Please be nice. Yeah.
Please be nice. My boss is always on my case. My boss is really responsible.
Yeah.
My paycheck is too small for my survival. I should learn to cut down on unwanted expense. Jobs are difficult to come by these days. We should work hard to find a job. Not job. Wait for the job. We should.
Not wait for the job to come. Yes.
I'm not good enough. I can improve myself. Malaysia is a terrible country to live in. I love the food.
Yes, we all. Yeah.
Exercising regularly is too hard to do. I can start with small steps.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Next, what's the next? Okay. Afzal.
You are never on time. You just have to be punctual. Why can you behave properly? I don't. Why don't you behave yourself? My boss is always on my case. My boss is trying to help me. My paycheck is too small for my survival. We can do by reduce by my expense.
Reduce expenses.
Jobs are difficult to come by these days. Just don't be so picky. I'm not good enough. Just believe in yourself.
Excellent.
Malaysia is a terrible country to live in. Don't ask what the country can do to you, but ask what you can do for your country. Exercising regularly is too hard to do. Believe in this motto, no pain, no gain.
Okay.
Well done, well done. This group, please.
Hi.
Alright, you're never on time. You need to be more punctual. Why can't you behave yourself? Why can't you behave properly? Please mind your manners. My boss is always on my case. My boss always cares about me. My paycheck is too small for my survival. It's time to redo my budget. Jobs are difficult to come by these days. You just haven't found your perfect place yet. I'm not good enough. I love myself, but I need a slight bit of improvement. Malaysia is a terrible country to live in. Malaysia is unique because Malaysians embrace our difference. Exercising regularly is too hard to do. I need to manage my time well.
Yes, well done.
Last but not least. Wow, I like the color of your jacket.
Okay, so number 1, you're never on time. Please be on time. Why can't you behave properly? I appreciate if you could be in your best behavior. My boss is always on my case. It means you have more potential. My paycheck is too small for my survival. Plan your financial well and you will be able to survive. Jobs are difficult to come by these days. Enhance your skills and opportunities will come in your way. I am not good enough, I can be better. Malaysia is a terrible country to live in. On the bright side, Malaysia has good foods and different cultures. Exercising regularly is too hard to do. Exercising 5 minutes a day would be a good start for you.
Excellent.
Okay. Well done all. Okay. And now you see the second part of the exercise, which is list down famous personalities that you know who have been proactive in overcoming their physical disabilities to become successful in life and helping the poor and needy, although he or she is not rich. Overcoming a serious childhood trauma to become successful. Okay? Alright, discuss this. 5 minutes.
For number one, we chose Stephen Hawking because he was diagnosed with a disease that took over his whole body, but he still became successful. For number two, we chose Mahatma Gandhi because he helped the poor and so he wasn't rich. Number three, we chose Oprah because she was raped when she was a kid and she still became successful.
Thank you, Shalini. Okay, who wants to talk next? Come. So this group.
My friend.
Your friend also.
My husband.
Number one, overcoming their physical disabilities to become successful in life, Nick Vujicius. Okay. Number two, helping the poor and needy, although he or she is not rich, Mother Teresa. Okay, and overcoming a serious childhood trauma to become successful, Eminem.
What happened? What happened to Eminem?
He has an abusive father.
Abusive father.
Alright, this group, please.
You guess. Somebody else.
Your name is? Miling.
The first one, overcoming their physical disabilities, Helen Keller. The second one, helping the poor and needy toward, although she's not rich, Mother Teresa. Overcoming a serious childhood trauma to become successful, Lizzie Velasquez.
What happened to her?
And Rosa, she's very skinny but she's so skinny.
And then she had because of the disease. And then the childhood, the face changes, and then took a rope, and then the friends all call her monster.
Oh dear.
And then now she's 20 something. The face is really like a monster, but she overcome. She become a speaker at
TED Talk speaker. Okay. All right. Excellent.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Okay. Last but not least.
Okay, first, overcoming their physical disability to become successful in life, still the same, Nick Vujicius. Helping the poor and needy, although he or she not rich, still the same Mother Teresa. And three, overcoming a serious childhood trauma to become successful. Have two. First fiction character and the second one is the real life. First, the fiction character is Bruce Wayne. You know, when he's a child, he's afraid of bad. And then, right now he became a superhero. And after that will come in soon. And the real life is Marshall Mathers or Slim Shady, or we know as Eminem, the rap god. Because when you were a child, you been bullied by his friend, not by his father. He doesn't know who is father. My idol, I know that.
Oh, Amala just arrived. Amala, right? Your name? Okay. We just finished this exercise, okay? All right, that was very good. Thank you all. So now we'll go on to the next part, okay? Right, what does that exercise tell you about being proactive? What does exercise tell you about your state of mind when you are faced with a situation or when you are faced with a condition that you may not be able to change? You know, Nick Vujicic. How do you pronounce his name, Sheila? Vujicic, okay. Nick Vujicic, he was born without arms and legs. Born without arms and legs, can you imagine that? So all of us are actually like 400% more able than him. But what has Nick achieved for himself? You know, he has become a very charismatic speaker, and it's like, wow, no arms, no legs, no problem, no issue. And he's happily married, that's right, lives in Australia. So, being proactive is about taking responsibility for our own lives, okay? What is responsibility? It's your response ability. It is your ability to respond to a situation. It is your ability to respond to the bad weather, to the rain. It's just rain, it's not bad weather, it's just wet weather. That is how you change your response, you know, to something by choosing your thoughts. You have to choose your thoughts carefully, okay? Because your behavior is really a product of conscious choice. You have the power in you to make this conscious choice, okay? If somebody tells you, you know, Abu, I think you are useless lah. You need macam ni, okay? And this will happen in your workplace, you know. Somebody will try to bring you down, somebody will try to tell you you're not doing well enough. So, what is your responsibility? How do you think you're going to overcome that?
If people tell me that I'm useless or trying to bring me down, that show that I'm rather the atas. I'm better than the others because they are trying to bring me down, same just like them. So I take that as the positive.
Okay, good. Yeah, so he takes that as a challenge. A lot of people will take this as a challenge. And I tell you one thing, in the workplace, sometimes people want to bring you down, not because they think you're weak, but because they think you're strong. You know, if you're weak, nobody cares about you. If you're weak, if you don't have a lot of ability or whatever, people can say, oh, this is not a threat. If you're weak, you're not a threat. But if you're strong, that's when people sometimes will try to pull you down. Okay? But you can choose your response to that. You can choose your response intelligently because you have conscious choice, because you have your independent will. Okay? Remember what separates us from the apes? Okay? Otherwise, it's like, oh, I show you a banana, you run to it. You know? I show you, you know, it's very reactive. But we want to become proactive people. This is how we become proactive. Yeah? So, how do you be proactive? Now, just now was an exercise where you had to think about the responses. You had to think about the responses. You need to develop your awareness. What is developing awareness? First, you notice, observe. That's why God has given us eyes and ears. Okay? These are tools for us to observe. And then pause for a bit. You know, when somebody tells you, oh, you're useless and all that, you know, don't just react. Step back. Pause. And then look at that, assess that statement and see, is there any truth in this? You know, am I really a bad person? Am I really a lousy person? Am I really this, that, and so forth? Okay? And then look at the action and choose an appropriate response. Exercise your response ability. Because if you don't do that, then you're just an ordinary person. Do you want to be ordinary? I don't want to be ordinary. Okay? And then act. And when you act, how do you act? You're a lousy person. Bam. What do you mean I'm lousy? A bailing. You know? A hard slap. You know, left, right, and center. Some people, they are so, their consciousness is not developed that this is how they react to things. Okay? But we don't want to be that kind of people because it's very easy to be a reactive person. It takes intelligence, it takes consciousness, it takes conscious effort to be a proactive person. And that's what we want to try and become, okay? You have to watch your language also, you know? Oh, I must do this, you know? I have to do this. Why do you have to do this? You know? Who made you come here today? Who felt that today is, you know, coming here today is something forced upon them? Can I see a show of hands? Does anyone feel that you're forced to come here today? Do you choose to come here? Thank you. You choose to come here. That's proactivity. Okay? Instead of saying, you know, I have to do this, or I have to exercise, you know, why don't you say, you know, I need to exercise? So you choose your language well. And you have to ask yourself also, is it something within your circle of influence to change? Somebody mentioned just now, GST, there's nothing we can do about it. Yeah? Okay. So you have to recognize things that you can change and things that you cannot change. Can you change the sun from coming out at 7 o'clock every morning? You can't, right? Okay? Can you change, you know, the weather? You know, if it's going to rain this evening? Can you change that? No, you can't. So, think about something within your circle of influence that you can change. Think about that. If you are faced with a situation, okay, don't think about how am I going to react to this. If it's something you can change, change it. If it's something you cannot change, then accept it or work around it. This is being proactive. And then after that, or you commit and you act. Okay? And when you choose a commitment, you have to keep to your commitment. Okay, how do we develop awareness? As I mentioned, you know, sometimes the human being's basic nature is not to, is to act and not be acted upon. Okay, our basic nature is to act, not to be acted upon. What does that mean? Amala, what do you think that means? You're not sure?
I'm being honest, I'm not sure. Our basic instinct, our basic nature is to act. It means to,
Our basic nature is to act means our basic nature is to be proactive. It's for us to do things, to start things or whatever, not for people to, you know, push us. Be acted upon, that means, you know, you have to be encouraged, you have to be pushed, you have to be forced to do certain things. That's not our basic nature. And sometimes when people force you to do certain things, you're resisting, right? It's like, oh, why do you have to do this, you know? Because it's not your basic nature. Your basic nature is, you know, I'm doing this because I want to do this. Not because my mother tells me to come here, not because, you know, somebody has paid me to come here and all that. So this is our basic nature, okay? And you have to recognize your ability, your will and your imagination to make things happen, okay? And not wait for things to happen. I think this is quite clear. Is this clear? You know, make things happen. I want to open a restaurant. How can I make this happen? Can I seek a mentor on this one? Can I talk to someone? You know, can I find an investor? Yeah? And the other thing, the most important thing, do you want to be the problem or do you want to be the solution? Does anyone want to be the problem? Show of hands? No? Nobody wants to be the problem, okay? But in our everyday lives, of course, in a situation like this, of course, nobody will say, I want to be the problem. But in everyday lives, can you think about situations where you have been the problem to your parents? Guilty? Yeah. I know, I used to be a problem to my parents also. Not just when I was your age, you know, also when I was much older. Sometimes you worry about me and all that and say, you know, I'm grown up and all that. But, you know, the one thing about parents is that they never stop worrying about their children. Children will always be their babies. You know, my daughter is 18, my son is 16 this year, and they will always be my babies. So, but the best you can do is try to be the solution. Being the solution, again, requires conscious effort. It requires you to use your will. So it is more. Proactivity is more than just positive thinking. Okay? You have to integrate it. You have to make it become part of you. It can become a culture. Okay? The second thing that I mentioned just now is about watching your language.
Can I share something on that last piece?
Yes, of course, Sheila. Please.
You know that last part where she said proactivity is not just positive thinking, it can be made a culture. I want to share an experience with you on this particular incident. You know, I told you before, you know I work in the aviation plant, right? GA Aviation. So 400 guys, and we had an MD who is very, very highly proactive, he thinks. Because he's very, very good at his job. You know, Matsale guy. But the problem with this is he's so good with his job, but he's not very good with people. So the manager said, you know, every morning we go for production meeting. In the morning, production is very important. So I'm customer service, I need to be there to tell my customer what's happening. So at production meeting, materials is very important. If something is late, the engine stops, work stops, we cannot deliver millions of dollars in revenue gone. What will happen is at production meeting, we're supposed to have 15 people, right? So they'll all be sitting. And then the MD will say, okay, report. And the materials manager, he stands up and says, today we have a delay because before he can finish his sentence, what do you mean by delay? Tell me who? Why? I want to know. He starts yelling and the poor materials because he's so scared, right? I mean, somebody's in your face shouting at you. And this happens every morning almost. So much so the manager says, Sheila, we need your help. And I was 7 Habits certified. So I said, okay, let's run 7 Habits. Let's run and make sure MD is there. So MD was there for 5 days, taking part in all the activities. So we all were excited because all the managers said, whoa, Monday production meeting, whoa, it's going to be good. So Monday morning comes, production meeting starts. Everybody got a smile on their face. So guess what happens? Exactly. What do you mean? Who what? But you know, during the training, that's one thing I taught them. Because most people have what we call verbal diarrhea. What's in here comes out. Right? Verbal diarrhea. Can you take back what you say? Cannot, right? People will forgive you, but they won't forget. You see, this is the problem with verbal diarrhea. So we said, okay, when you have verbal, you're going to have verbal diarrhea, you do this. You stop. Remember she said stimulus, response, freedom to choose your response. So between stimulus and response, animal kingdom, something happens, straight away fight. But human, we can stop. We can think. Press the pause button, right? Press your pause, think. So we said, think, then speak. Stop, think, speak. This is the sign we taught them. Stop, think, speak. So when he did that on Monday morning, all the managers in the room stood up. We didn't open our mouth, we just did this. That's it, we just did this. You should have seen his face. His jaw dropped, like everybody like in shock. Total silence in the room, huh? Total silence. Suddenly, the next thing you know, he took a deep breath. Okay, so Fadil, what can I do to help you? Tone of voice change, manner change, style change. Production meeting used to be 15 people. When his attitude was bad, 8 people will show up because the rest will say diarrhea lah, sakit perut, they'll come for meeting. But after the behavior change, full turnout. So it is something that can be made into culture if practiced correctly. I just wanted to share that story because it was something very, very real for me.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you, Sheila. So Sheila mentioned about watching our language. You know, how do we watch our language? Before, after the act of thinking and responding appropriately, we need to also watch our language. Okay? And just now you had the exercise that you did, and that is also an exercise to see how you can watch your language. So, for example, you know, there's nothing I can do. Can we say, let's look at our options? Okay? Can we read this together? Can we read this together? The next one. That's just the way I am. I can choose a different way. It makes me so sad. This reactive language. What is proactive language? What he did may not be right, but I control my feelings. Okay? They won't allow that. Proactive. What options do they allow? And reactive, I have to do it. Oh. Proactive would be, I choose to do it. I choose to respond appropriately. Okay? And I must do this, I must do that. You can? I prefer. I choose to do. Okay? And you say, oh, if only X, Y, Z happens, you know. The choice is, I will make X, Y, Z happen. I will open that restaurant. I will start that small business. Rather than wait for things to happen. Okay? So, what does reactive language tell you? Reactive language is about giving up responsibility. But proactive language is about taking responsibility. I'm responsible for my life, so let me choose my language properly. So nobody else is responsible for you. Okay? Alright, let's talk about your circle of influence. Here's a blue circle. This is your circle of concern. Your circle of concern, you know, can be rising living costs, you know, or cigarettes are now more expensive, and holidays are more expensive, the GST has kicked in, you know, the only thing I see in the papers is that cars are cheaper, some cars are cheaper. So, you know, but at this stage of your lives, that might not be your most immediate concern to get a car, right? Okay? And we have the circle of influence. These are things that you can control. You can control, as I said, you cannot control what time the sun comes up. But you can control what time you wake up in the morning, either to greet the sun, or you can choose to sleep until 10 a.m. and then waste, you know, 3-4 hours of the morning. Okay? Alright, so the circle of concern is about what you can't control. The circle of concern is about other people's responses also, and other people's actions. Natural disasters, the GST, the weather, these are all things you cannot control. But the circle of influence is about what you can control. And this is your, how you respond, this is your response ability. So, we're talking about your circle of influence. Do you want your circle of influence to be bigger, or do you want it to be smaller? Bigger is better? Absolutely. Absolutely. So in your life right now, can you examine your life and see whether your circle of influence is bigger than your circle. It cannot be bigger than the circle of concern. But whether it's big enough to try and make that circle of concern area smaller. Okay? So you can see, I'll be happy when I get a rich husband. A lot of ladies think so. No? I'll be happy when I get that Maserati. I'll be happy when I have $1 million. But a lot of things, of course, you can work on. But right now, your circle of influence, you can see I'm happy I'm alive. I'm happy I have all my faculties. I'm happy I have 2 hands and 2 legs, which are, as I said, 400% more than Nick. You know? And I say, if only my boss wasn't so whatever, okay? But you can say I'm part of my boss's solution. That is within your circle of influence. Yeah? If only my father was richer, why not say, I can build my own wealth? Everybody wants a rich father. Huh? If possible, lah. But, you know, not everyone is well endowed. Not everyone is born with a silver spoon in their mouth, you know. And then you can say, if only I could have X, Y, Z, then I would be happy. But you can choose to say, I'm resourceful. If only I had a degree, if only I had this, if only I had that, why don't you study part-time, you know? So, which circle can you work on to continuously improve your life? Work on your circle of influence. Things that you can influence, things that you can change. And one challenge, when you go back, work on the influence circle for 30 days and then just see what happens. You will see a difference in your life. Okay. Now we're going to do the last exercise on your paper. I'm going to give you 5 minutes for this. The first question is, how do you react to a juicy piece of gossip? Okay. And the second question, what initiatives can you take to prepare yourself well for the job market? Third question, you get a 10th rejection letter from a prospective employer. What do you do? Go on, discuss your questions, discuss your answers. Yes, you. What's your name, please? Faye. Faye. I love your platform shoes.
But it's a bit rough. Alright, this one.
So, how do you react to a juicy piece of gossip or some bad news condemning X, Y, and Z received via a social media channel? We read and be informed, but do not take it at face value. So what initiatives can you take to prepare yourself well for the job market? Attend seminars like SEED, workshops, and enhance our skills. You get the 10th rejection letter from a prospective employer. What do? If you're really interested in the job, to call the prospective employer instead, because they might have forgotten about the letter. Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
No, actually I'm talking about you sending your letter, your applications to 10 different prospective employers.
Oh, we got one?
No, not just one. So, let's say you send it out to 10 companies and then you get 10 rejection letters, okay? All right, next. Where is Faisal? Faisal is going out smoking.
Greetings and salutation. Okay, so how do you react to a juicy piece of gossip, some bad news condemning XYZ, receiving via social media? Well, we react in a positive way, and it's just their assumption and opinion. So they should look for the real reason what's happening, instead of just gossiping all around.
Okay, for the second one, what initiative you can take to prepare yourself well for the job market? Well, like you said, if you want something, you just have to give them something. So you just have to look for what do they need, what their requirements. So you have to fulfill it. I mean, you have to be better. Okay. And the last one, you get the 10th rejection letter from prospective employer. What do? Well, for me, I just start to write the 11th letter. and don't give up, because I just know that there is a place out there for me.
Okay, great.
Well said. No, it doesn't matter. Whoever.
Come on, Fiona.
Who hasn't spoken.
And her.
Hi everyone, I'm Fiona, and the first question is, how do you react to a juicy piece of gossip or some bad news condemning X, Y, and Z, received via a social media channel? Okay, we would investigate, we would go to Google and investigate it, whether it's true or false, and then we would not spread it to others if it is not true. If it's true, then we'll spread lah. Instead of be open-minded and think in the other way. Then the second one, what initiative can you take to prepare yourself well for the job market? Okay. Do you still remember there was 4 windows at the Johari, and then there's one window called hidden window, hidden zone. Okay, and then our group suggested us to do like we go and find out our hidden zone, discover more of yourself, to prepare well for yourself, and you know your strength, you know your weakness. And when people tackle your weakness, you will be ready for it. You will tell people, okay, I have this to cover up my weakness. For example, like, okay, no need example. Okay, the third one, you get the 10 rejection letters. You miss an S.
Where? 10 rejection.
Okay, sorry.
10 rejection letter. Well, or you can say, you know, you get 10 rejection letters. 10 rejection letters, and from 10 prospective employers. Okay, so what do you do?
Our group.
I cry. You cry?
Yeah, I cry first, and then I reflect.
Cry first.
Yeah, and then I reflect on myself, and I ask my friends for support and feedback as well. Ask what kind of quality that I don't have. Ask whatever question like why people don't like me, why I'm not accepted. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, well done. Thank you very much,
Fiona. Okay, this group, can we have someone from who hasn't spoken? Sunil, please.
No leader. Okay.
Okay, for the number 1. How I react, it depends. Okay, if it's artists, I don't care. If it's they talk bad about person I know, I unfollow or unfriend that person. Why? I don't like this negative energy, so like this is not the kind of person that I would like to have as a friend. Someone who talk bad about me behind your back. So, number 2, initiatives, or taking classes and courses, trying to improve our skills needed for the job that we want to have. Then number 3, get the 10 rejection letter, or working on something that I'm lacking on, like trying to find out, am I lacking on the interview skills, or my resume is not good enough? So I'm going to work on that.
Thank you very much. All right, that group.
for the first one, how do you react to a juicy piece of gossips? Okay, we start like you don't stop spreading it to others, and maybe you go straight to the person who really involved and have a talk to them if they are really close to you, maybe. And then for the second one, what initiatives that you can take to prepare yourself for the job market? Accept the constructive feedback, okay, or advice. And the third one, you get a 10 rejection letters from a prospective employer. So what do? Find a way to improve yourself and don't try to give up.
Excellent.
You have done, right? Just done? Done? We're all done. Okay, great. So you see how you react to certain things, and all these are situations that at some point of your life you will face, especially when you're in the job market, when you're looking for a job, when you want to maybe move from one job to another, you know. And the thing is, I wanted to mention about social media because this is happening so much around us, okay? You get a juicy piece of gossip. Oh my God, I must share this with someone. I must share this with my good friend. I must share this, but really, have you verified the truth behind it? You know? And this is again one terrible culture that we have about social media. You know, just a few weeks ago, somebody sent me this in our chat group. We have a school chat group, and they sent me this photo of this guy, this Malay guy. He's in his 50s, and they say, "Oh, be careful of this guy. He drives a Myvi, and what he does is, you know, he will tell people that, oh, I have lost my wallet and so forth, and can you give me some money?" And he has done this to a few people, and somebody managed to capture his photo today. And that went into a few chat groups, okay? And somebody actually had the presence of mind to ask, have you verified the truth or not? I mean, because if you do that, I mean, for us Muslims, right? For us Muslims, if we forward something like that, it becomes fitna. Fitna is a lie, and it's very simple. It's like, it's really bad. So, and then, this person said, oh, you know, actually I have not, the person who forwarded it said, you know, oh, actually I have not verified it. We all say, alamak, you know, then how can you know that it's the truth? And then, half an hour later, somebody forwarded something, a plea from that guy. He said, I'm pleading to those people who got this WhatsApp message, and all this is not true. You know, I'm a respectable guy, my kids are in universities and so forth. I have a respectable job, and I don't do this. Somebody did this to me to sabotage me. I mean, if you were the person who actually forwarded that message to your chat group, how would you feel? Guilty. If you were that guy, how would you feel?
Sad,
angry, sad. That people can do this, that people can do something like this against you, and then other people forward, you know, without verifying. Have you heard of that line that says, you know, a lie repeated enough times can become the truth? You have to be very, very careful about this. That's why whatever piece of news you get via Facebook, via Twitter, WhatsApp, and so forth, verify first before you share, before you forward. And it is very easy. We all love to share bad news. Right? Guilty? Yeah, we all love to share bad news. For the newspapers, for the newspapers, bad news is news that sells. Good news never sells, man. Good news, you know, what the Sorab-Tibis ladies do for the youth and all that. All this will never make the headlines. You know, but you get, Sodomy case, Anwar Ibrahim, splash headlines, Anwar convicted, you know. So this is life. Sadly, this is what the world has come to, but if we want to build a good character, we have to be conscious of all these things and try to make sure that you think and pause before you act, okay? Make sure you exercise your response ability.
One statement I always like is this: be loyal to be absent. If your person is not there to defend themselves, be a loyal friend. Defend them when they're absent. Don't talk about them when they're absent. Always best to tell them up front.
This is also very important. Thank you, Sheila. This is about honoring your friendship. How do you honor your friends? You know, I say, behind Abu's back. Behind Abu's back. Okay? Alah, Abu tu memanglah malas. Dia tu tahu dah. Kan? If I'm a true friend, if somebody said that to me and I said, no, you know, actually I know maybe he's been working late nights. And maybe that's why he has not been waking up early. So it's like that. How do you honor your friends? If you want people to honor you, you have to honor them. Honoring people is, as Sheila said, is about being loyal to them even when they're not there in front of you. Okay? Alright, begin with the end in mind. This is the second habit. Okay. What I do at this moment now, okay, today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next quarter, next year, all this will help achieve what really matters to me. So you have to ask yourself, what really matters to you? What really matters to you? Have a clear understanding of your destination. What do you want to be? Fiona.
Pediatricians?
Yes?
Yeah, I want to become a pediatrician one day.
Oh, okay. Are you in medical school now?
I'm applying.
Oh, okay. Excellent. You're applying to medical school and you want to become a pediatrician. Excellent. So, what do you think you can do now to achieve that goal?
I study human body and I came up with, I talked to the doctors, the specialists, and I talk with my friends, I share every information with my friends, and we came up with new research and discover more things, more drugs.
Okay. And you, of course, at this point of time, you have already applied to some medical schools, and you're hoping to get a positive answer. Okay? Okay, so we wish you all the best. So, okay, Fiona has a clear understanding of her destination. Okay, I will show you how having the end in mind, you know, how to put the gears into motion to get you to your goal. Okay, holiday in Bali. Who's been to Bali? You love Bali? I love Bali. The beaches are nice, you have a nice mountain to climb also, you know, and you have the paddy fields. Sorry? It's a very hot place, yeah. But, you know, you get to see girls in bikinis also, right? Apu wants to go there now. Okay. So, you have as a goal, you know, a holiday in Bali, right? What do you want to do there? Oh, I can do whitewater rafting. I can swim. And I can, you know, play with elephants, you know. So how are you going to get there? You have a plan. What's the plan? First, you decide when you want to go, okay? You want to go in October, in August, in July. Then you decide on the hotel where you're going to stay, correct? Why did you sign? Yes, a lot of hotels there, even the cheaper villas and all that, they're really gorgeous. And then, yeah, you've been there? You're imagining, excellent. Okay, and then you gotta get your airline ticket, correct? And then you gotta have a budget. Yeah? And what do you need to do? Start a vacation fund, okay? Otherwise, you're not going to get there. Otherwise, you cannot even afford to buy the airline tickets, let alone, you know, stay in Bali for a week or whatever. So, how do you start? Is this something you can start today if you want to have a vacation fund? Yes, absolutely. So you save, and think about it. This is a quote I found on the net. Spending 5 ringgit daily at Starbucks or saving $1,825 for your travels. So, a very real example, spend, how much was it? 420 ringgit on cigarettes a month. Or save it, you know? Or I'm not telling you to totally quit smoking, but you know, if you have a goal, then maybe you say, okay, instead of smoking a pack a day, I'll smoke half a pack, and then save the other half for whatever I want to do. So, keep calm and save money, okay? That's going to get you to Bali. If you don't save, if you don't have a vacation fund, if you're not disciplined, there is no way you can get to Bali. So this is all about beginning with the end in mind. Okay? So, in other aspects of your life, for example, beginning with the end in mind, what can you do? Where are you now? Most of you are single. Okay? You have to think about where you want to be in 20 years' time. In that book, they have even come up with a more radical example. You know what the guy said? Write your eulogy. What people will say about you after you die. What will people say? If you think about it, yeah, it sounds morbid. It sounds very morbid, but it is very true. How do you want people to think of you after you pass away? How do people think of Princess Diana? She has passed on. How do people think of Whitney Houston? Unfortunately, she had so much talent. You know, lovely voice and all that. But what did she do with her life? It was all wasted. In the end, she had a lot of debts and, you know, she was abusing drugs. Is that how you want people to remember you? So, as morbid as it sounds, once in a while, sit back and think about what I want people to think about me. How do I want people to think of me after I die? Because it really drives home the point about having the end in mind. What you want to achieve in your life. Okay? How you want to be. Do you want to be remembered as a good person? Or you want to be remembered as the backstabber, you know, somebody who gets to the top by stepping on others, you know, by backstabbing other people, by dishonest means. Okay? Or you want to be remembered as, oh wow, my God, that guy, very good drug dealer last time, that's why I so rich. Good drug dealer, and then money. Sorry? Always give the best prize, yeah. Always give the best prize for his cocaine, for his meth, and so forth. You don't want to be remembered in that way, right? We all want to be remembered in a good way. So think about that. This is a very powerful exercise when you go back later sometimes. Get a journal. Try to write your own eulogy. Try to think about how you want to be remembered. Okay? So, I put there, you know, where I am now. And you can start doing all this later when you go back. Okay? If you're unhealthy, where do you want to be in 20 years' time? Actually, 20 years is not a long time, huh? I tell you. 20 years will just pass by, just like that. Once you start working, it's like, before you know it, this is 2015, it's already April. Come on. I thought we just celebrated the new year. So the only thing you have is time. Make good use of it. So if you wish to have a fruit-bearing tree later, let's sow the seeds of a tree now. Because, as I said earlier, how long does it take for a tree to grow? A long time, right? Why do you want a tree? Why don't you want a tauge? Tauge, you sow today, tomorrow it starts sprouting already. Yeah, but tauge is like, it's not strong. Anybody can, you know, with one thumb, with one finger, you can push it back into the ground. But you have a tree, you have a, you know, you sow a tree, it's a Meranti tree or Chengal tree. My God, look at it. Jati, pokok jati. You go to the Forest Research Institute, look at all the strong, tall trees. Durian. Or durian tree, yeah. Yes. Durian, after 8 years, you cannot taste it.
No, I mean, durian. To plant durian, usually you won't even have the chance to eat it. When you sow the tree,
that's not true.
Because it takes years. If you, like right now I'm 20, so I can sow it. If I die at 40, I will not taste it. My grandchildren will.
Why do you want to die at 40?
No, if there's a possibility.
Okay, yeah. But just because, you know, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't sow the right seeds. Well, my father used to have a durian orchard, and you know, I think after 10 years, it starts fruiting. So it really doesn't take that long, okay? And so this is it. You know, what kind of tree do you want in your life? You want a strong tree? You want a good fruit tree and all that? You know, but you must sow the seed now. You cannot expect to plant your durian rambutan today, and then next day. You know, my mother-in-law last time, you know, say, oh, let's plant this mangosteen tree in the garden. You know, mangosteen tree, I think again, after several years, they should start fruiting already. After 10 years, no fruit. 15 years, no fruit. 20 years, no fruit. And then we ask the botanist, say, Allah, itu benih jantan. So with fruits, right, you also have, even durians, right? You also have benih jantan and benih betina. You know, male or female seeds. You know, if it's a female one, then it will fruit. If it's a male one, apparently you have to know which is which. So until now, the mangosteen tree only gives shade. It doesn't give fruits. Okay. So how do we begin with the end in mind? Okay, we need to identify our roles and goals in life. What you want to be. You must have a personal mission statement. What is a personal mission statement? What do you think a personal mission statement is?
I think it's a plan, a mission, meaning that, you know, a mission for your future.
Yeah.
You have your steps to it.
Yes. Good. Okay. Sorry, what's your name again? Irvina. Irvina. Okay. Thank you, Irvina. Yes. Write a personal mission statement. Okay, based on the correct principles. A personal mission statement is essentially a vision of, yes, that's the person I want to be. You know, who plays music? Who plays some musical instruments? What instrument do you play? Piano. Okay, and your favorite pianist?
Because I don't really watch. This is random.
Okay. Alright. My son is into classical music, and his favorite composer is Mahler. Not that he wants to compose music, you know, but he plays the piano as well. He's just so into Mahler. You know, he makes me go to the MPO with him if there's somebody conducting a Mahler symphony. And yes, it's really a beautiful symphony. But you see, like a symphony, can you visualize yourself as that symphony where all the different sounds come together to create one magical music? To create one magical music. Can you visualize, can you imagine what was in Mahler's head or what was in Beethoven's head when they wrote that symphony? They could already visualize it. That's beginning with the end in mind. They could already visualize it. Faisal, can you visualize yourself in 20 years? You cannot. Macam susah. Yeah, it is difficult. But if you want to be an effective person, you have to begin with the end in mind. You have to imagine, visualize, what do I want to be in 20 years' time? You know, when I was growing up, my father never trusted my ability to manage money. He said, oh, Surya, this one cannot give supplementary credit card because she's a spendthrift. She will spend on this, spend on that, and all that. And when I heard that, I made a resolution that one day I will be earning my own money, I'll be earning good money, and I will manage my money so well that all my siblings will respect me and they know that I can manage my money well. So I visualize myself as being able to buy whatever I wanted to buy, you know, and I visualize myself as somebody with the ability to use my money to also help others. So we can use all this. I could have taken that negatively and say, yeah lah, you know, I'm lousy at managing money and so forth, you know. But I took it positively. So can you visualize yourself in 20 years' time? What you want to be? So if you play music, for example, if you sing, I want to be like Michael Jackson. Not in the terms of whitening your skin or whatever, okay? I want to be like Michael Jackson, I want to be successful. I want to be like, okay, let's choose a role model that's closer to home. I want to be like Tony Fernandez. You know, Tony Fernandez, so versatile. He used to be in the music industry, now he's in the airline industry. And who does he model himself after? Who does Tony Fernandez model himself after? Do you know? Richard Branson. Do you all know Richard Branson? My God, nobody knows Richard Branson? I know. Okay, a few people know that it's. Richard Branson is the founder of the Virgin brand. The Virgin brand in the UK, originating from the UK. Yes, you know, they have airlines, they have the Virgin Records, you know, they have recording studios and so forth. Virgin. And it's also red. You know, Tony Fernandez didn't choose that red for nothing, you know. He models it. Richard Branson is like his idol. Okay? So, choose an idol. I want to be like Richard Branson. I want to be like Tony Fernandez. Okay? Sorry? So, this is what you need to do. And then a couple of weeks ago, you learned how to create a vision board. I'm 45 years old. I still have a vision board. Okay? I learned to practice what I preach. And on my vision board, you know, and this vision board is not something static. I had an earlier vision board, which, you know, some of the things I've achieved already, so I put that aside. So I create a new vision board. The kind of life I want, the kind of family, the kind of leisure things that I want to do. So all this is very important for you to help you visualize what you want to be in 20 years' time. These are tools. Use them. But there is one disease that's incurable, that, you know what, if you get it, really nothing goes. What is it? Huh? The M disease. What is the M disease? Malas, lazy. Really, if you are lazy, then nobody can help you. If you are not smart enough, if you are not certified enough, there are so many ways to overcome that. But if you are lazy, then sorry lah, all this can go out the drain. Yeah. If you have that disease, then you can walk out now. There's no need to sit through the rest of this course. Okay? So, create a vision board if you don't have one. This is very important. And the other thing is that can help is affirmations. I have affirmations stuck to my mirror about what I want to be, about the kind of life that I want. On my affirmation, one of the things I put is, you know, this hasn't happened yet. I have written one book, but I would like to write more books. So one of the affirmations is, I'm an author, a successful author who writes books that make a positive difference in other people's lives. That is one of the affirmations that I have on this piece of paper that I stuck to my mirror, which I look at every morning. And it reaffirms my vision. This is what I want to be. This is what I want to share with people. Because it hasn't happened yet, but when it happens, please buy my book. Okay? And then focus on the principle-centered living. Principle-centered, we'll get into that later. Okay? It's about basing your life on the right principles. And then number 5, review your personal mission statement every 2 years. You cannot have because things change. Things change, new opportunities come. You know, if today you feel like, oh, macam last week kan, Steve Lim said, oh, my son, you know, first he wants to play the piano, then he wants to play the violin, then he wants to play the guitar. So sometimes it takes a process for you to determine the things that are not you, okay? Sometimes before you know what you want, you have to first know what you don't want. Sometimes it's an elimination process. Some people are clear-headed. They say, oh yeah, I want to become a pediatrician. Oh yeah, I want to open a restaurant. They're very clear-headed. They already know. They have already discovered their purpose. But for the rest of us, me included, when I was younger, I read law, but really, since then, I've never practiced a day in my life as a lawyer. So, but it's not wasted because, you know, it was just, for me, I took it as just a process to see what is it that I'm interested in. Miss Sheila there, she's a lawyer, so she put good use, she put her law degree to good use. So people always call me lawyer buruk. And so review your personal mission statement every 2 years because circumstances change, things change, okay? And then later you graduate, and then you get a job, and then you get married. So when you get married, again, your personal mission statement should change. Because, you know, now you have a spouse. Now you have your wife, your husband. And then when you have children, again, your personal mission statement should be reviewed. Because now you have people who depend on you. So this is very important. Okay? I mentioned principle-centered living. What are the aspects of a principle-centered living? What do you think are principles? Faye kan?
Yeah. Basically what you want out of yourself. Like,
what is a principle?
Basically a rule, like personal principles, like a rule for yourself, like things that you will or will not do. Like,
yeah. What is one principle that you live by in your life right now?
I have to think about that because I have several.
You have several.
Yeah.
Name one.
Basically to sort of like not rely on my parents. Because I'm an adult and I try to live by the Australian lifestyle.
Okay.
Where I want to pay them back as soon as possible and live independently.
Oh, excellent. I think that is an excellent principle. Okay? So Faye wants to live an independent life. Yes? Faye wants to be independent. That is the principle. These are deep fundamental truths, okay? So if you live by solid principles, you can achieve anything. You can achieve security, you can achieve wisdom, you can achieve guidance, you can achieve power. And principles by nature, they don't change. It's not like, okay, today I want to live independently, tomorrow I don't want. It cannot be like that. A principle is something like Rukun Negara, like that. Has the Rukun Negara changed or not? Okay? Kepercayaan kepada Tuhan, kesetiaan kepada Tuhan. It hasn't changed. When I was in school, it was still there. So a Rukun, principle is like a Rukun. It doesn't change. And it must not change. Okay? So, having a principle-centered living means you have a good internal compass inside you. Okay? You want to go to Kota Baru, your map inside shows you go to Singapore. How? A principle-centered living means that you have both the compass and the map in here, right inside you, so that you know where to go and you know how to get there. And your internal compass can point you in the right direction. What is that? Be loyal to the absent. That is also a principle. That is also a principle. I don't talk bad about you behind your back. I try to, if you're my friend, I try to defend you behind your back. That is the principle-centered living. Okay? So, can you ask yourself, what is your internal compass like? What is your internal compass? Like, you need to ask this question of yourselves. When was the last time you bitched about your friends? Just now, 2 hours ago. Faisal went out, sat rokok, took a break, they bitch about him. Is it? Like that. Okay. Does your internal compass take you where you want to go, or is it leading you to an unwanted place? I cannot answer this question for you. You have to answer these questions yourselves. So, in terms of yourself, you can say, I'm a unique individual with many talents and a clear purpose in life. In terms of my family, I want to contribute to my loved one's development. Okay, all of you, you know you don't have children yet, but eventually. In terms of my spouse or my partner, we are equal partners in a mutually beneficial relationship. In terms of money, what is money? Yeah, I want all the good stuff. But really, at the end of the day, it is a tool to accomplish my priorities and my goals. Yeah? Work, what is it? It is a means to provide financial resource, and so forth, and so forth. Most importantly there, enemies. What is your principle about your enemies? Love them. Yeah. What did she say?
Be close to your friends.
Be closer to your enemies. What did Nelson Mandela do? He was in prison for so long, and then when do you know what happened to him in prison? Did prison break him? No. Do you all know what happened?
He read a book.
Yeah. And then all the guards fell in love with him in prison. He was so principle-centered that prison didn't break him. He was so kind and so clear-headed that all the guards were actually very kind to him. They loved being with him in prison. There's this guy called Viktor Frankl. He's a psychologist. Viktor Frankl, is he still alive? No, he passed away already. And what happened was during the Second World War, you know what the Germans did to the Jews. And Viktor Frankl, he's a Jew, he was a Jew. And he was tortured. He was tortured, they did so many things to him, and yet he came out of that experience, even though he was physically affected. Mentally and emotionally, he was unscathed. He was so strong in his mind and his heart, you know, that he was able to forgive his enemies, and after that, lead a normal life. And then wrote a book, and wrote a very powerful book about forgiving people, about, you know, shutting off things that can affect you. If we go through the same experience, I don't know how we will fare. Being tortured, you know, Nelson Mandela, being able to forgive your enemies. This is also a principle-centered living. Because what are they? Really, they're just people with different viewpoints. You know, I say, I like white, and she says, oh, she likes black. You know, does that make us bad people? It's just a viewpoint. You know, I don't like smoking. He loves to smoke. Does it make you a bad person? Does it make us bad? No. It's just, we're just different. Yeah. So we must try to understand people. Okay. All right. We're going to now do a quick exercise on having the end in mind. So you have your piece of paper. Again, it's a group exercise. Okay? Turn it around. It's on the like the other side of the paper. All right? This is about creating a mission and life plan. Now, if there's anything you should take back with you today, it is this piece of paper. Okay? I've given an example of how to come up with a personal mission statement at the top there. You need to come up with your own personal mission statement. So this is not quite a group discussion. but this is your own personal exercise.
What I'm prepared to do to sacrifice. I'm prepared for the worst, to get back up, learn from the mistakes and sacrifice for my happiness.
What do you want to achieve in life?
What do I want to achieve?
Yeah. How do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? You don't really know. Okay. Maybe you need a longer time to think about this, but you know, this is something you need to do if you want to have the vision in life. Okay, the mission and the vision. Anybody? Does anyone inspire you? Can't really remember. Okay. All right. What about the third one? How you can?
How can I create
positive impact through your life? Yeah.
As long as I'm happy, I'm achieved.
As long as you're happy,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. All right. It's okay.
Thank you. Do you want to share something with us?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, my mission in 5 years, I'm not sure about that, but in 5 years, I think I am going to open a restaurant and I'm going to run it. And I want to complete my degree. Okay, what I'm prepared to do and sacrifice. Okay, working long hours, family time, social time, get together with friends, working in different lines to save up money, working 2 jobs, learning new skill, learning more language. Okay, make new friends, network, and keep in touch with people who matter, work related or otherwise. Okay, who or what inspires me? First, God, my parents, my friends, and women from SIPJ. Thank you. How can I create a positive impact? By being proactive, responsible, and actively spreading positive thinking. It all starts here. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you very much, Amala. Does anyone want to share their mission statement and all that? Anybody else? Abu. Because he said he malu, so I called him.
Okay, kamu want to be to become a like you know, I want to become a professional silat fighter or athlete in silat, stuntman, actor. Okay, and what I'm prepared to do and sacrifice is all connected. I will prepare money and I will sacrifice money and times. I will prepare time and sacrifice time. Prepare time, like split the time between job and the training to silat and go through the pain. You know, when we practice silat, you will be kicked in the leg, in your body. Just go through the pain. That means sacrifice my body. Not the negative part, the positive part. And who inspire me? These 2 people inspire me a lot. Is Tony Jaa and Bruce Lee. The first time I watched the Tony Jaa movie, I was 10 years old or something like that. I said I want to be just like him. And then I thought it's just keanak-anak punya percakapan. And then it bring until now. I want to be just like him, and then I joined the silat. Tony Jaa one time, but I'm silat. It's different. And Bruce Lee inspired me because he's disciplined, very disciplined, and how I can create a positive impact is my principle. I still stay connected with the principle. If they can do it, why I can't do it? So if anytime I feel down, I will stay connected to the principle, and then I will be strong again. And this from Bruce Lee, always trying to do better than them. There's a lot of Bruce Lee say, but I love this one. Always trying to do than them. Keep trying.
Keep trying. Keep trying.
You can Google lah.
There's someone from this group. Iman, is it? Come. You want to share? Iman. Say, go Iman. How old are you? 16. Wow.
She's a baby in the group.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What I'm prepared to do. I'm preparing myself to be proficient in all my subjects, and I want to do my best in my SPM next year so I can enter what course that I want and achieve my dreams.
What are your dreams? What do you want to be? You want to be a doctor. Don't tell me. Use the mic. You want to be a doctor. Okay. All right. So what are you prepared to sacrifice to achieve this dream? You see this mission, you see yourself as a doctor, treating people and all that. What are you prepared to do? Okay, this part is about your effort. What you're prepared to do to get there. Yeah, they ask people for opinions and all that. What do you want to You say you want to be good in all your subjects, so you need to study. Yeah, okay. And who inspires you?
My family and my friends.
Okay, your family and friends. Okay. Okay, how do you think you can create a positive impact?
What I want.
Never give up, yeah. Never give up.
Keep fighting with what I want. Spreading positive.
What else? I see something else there. Stop being lazy. Okay.
Stop being lazy. Okay, thank you very much, Iman. Thank you. Can we have someone from there sharing their personal mission?
Haris.
Fitri.
Come on, Fitri, you can do it. Yes, shit. From here.
Not based on what you've written down. Come.
Dari hati.
Come, cerita dari hati. Nak jadi apa? Satu nak cakap apa? Okay, you 5 tahun dari sekarang, kan? Where do you see yourself? What are you doing now? Animation, already working. Tengah apply. Okay. So in 5 years time? Okay. Nak buka company sendiri, nak buat animation. Okay. Jadi sekarang ni tengah buat kursus animasi. Okay, jadi apa yang you rasa you kena buat to get there? Nak buka company sendiri, That's a big ambition. Okay, so apa yang you rasa you kena buat? Okay, improve your skill, cari partner untuk sokong. Apa lagi? Sekarang ni sebelum bila nak graduate? Dah graduate dah? Oh, okay, alright. So from now to opening a company, you rasa apa yang you what is sacrifice in Malay?
Pengorbanan.
Apa yang you boleh korbankan untuk capai cita-cita you ni? Masa. Okay. Are you doing that? Okay, good. Excellent. Thank you, Fikri. I will ask her to speak. Come. Share something with us. What's your name, please?
Chiyong.
Chiyong. Okay, come Chiyong.
So my mission would be to figure out, to love what I'm doing, to wake up, feel motivated and passionate to start my day. That's my mission. So what I'm prepared to do or sacrifice my leisure time, a lot of time, and probably even money, and to try a lot of different things to figure out what's the best formula for me. And what or who inspires me, I think Lee Kuan Yew, and a friend of mine. And how can I create a positive impact to start from myself, for being a good person? Yeah, walk the talk.
Okay, excellent. Round of applause. Thank you very much. Okay, so you'll go back and reflect on your personal mission statement and think about what you're prepared to do, okay, to achieve your mission. All right, we'll go to habit 3 and then we'll break for lunch. This is about putting first things first. What does it mean by putting first things first? Prioritize. That's very good. Prioritize. There is this quote, things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things which matter least. Okay? Alright. That means that things that are really, really important, you must prioritize. Things that are not that important, you can set aside first. Okay? So what is one thing that you could do right now that you're not doing already, okay? That if you did it regularly would make a big positive difference to your personal life. You don't need to answer me now. You need to ask yourself this question. What is the one thing that you can do right now that if you did it regularly would make a huge impact to your personal life? Okay? And putting first things first is really about effective self-management by using our independent will. It's not just, it goes beyond time management, okay? It goes beyond that. And I will tell you why later. Okay. This is about will and discipline. So, for example, if my purpose or my priority is to pass my exams with flying colors, I have two choices. I always have a choice. We all have a choice. This is what the independent will is all about. I can study or I can watch a movie. Watch a movie! You think that will help you achieve your purpose of passing your exam? Okay. If, let's say, you have choice 1 and choice 2, you want to pass your exams. You say, okay, after 5 hours of study, or after, let's say, after 2 days of study, I'm going to watch a movie. Now that's reasonable. But you're putting first things first. You don't go and say, I watch a movie first and then I study later, whatever. Okay? And this is where you need to manage your friends. I also have this problem. Somebody calls saying, come come, let's go for a drink, let's go for a teh tarik. Of course, it's always more fun to do all these things. But we need to set our priorities. If you have a mission in life, you need to set priorities. If you want to be missionless, you don't want to be anybody, then you can do whatever you want. Go ahead. But you never achieve anything that's useful to you or to the people around you or to your loved ones. Then you'll just be an ordinary person. I don't want to be an ordinary person. But But if you want to do that, then nobody can stop you because you have independent will. But look at this again. If you want to do well in your job, you can finish your projects on time, or you can cooperate with your co-workers, or you can procrastinate, you can extend your deadlines, you can come up with excuses, where I work, I have staff. Every month, 2 days MC. Every month, it's like, they know that they are entitled to, like, say, 20 days MC a year, and they treat it like the annual leave. And this is not the kind of attitude that your bosses or the company that help you put food on the table will appreciate. I can tell you that outrightly, okay? But if you're really, really sick, don't go to work like this, still go to work. No, it's not that. If you're really, really ill, that's what the MC is for. But don't abuse things like this, because it gives out negative energy. And whatever negative energy that you send out will come back to you manifold. This is the law of the universe. You all have read about or been told roughly about the law of attraction. Okay, this is exactly what this is. Okay, and then you want to increase your knowledge, for example, on starting a small business. You have to read or find a mentor. Start somewhere, or you can say, no need to do today lah. No need to write my business plan today lah. More fun to watch movie, more fun to be a couch potato, And it's your choice, okay? And if your priority is to get fit, to prevent diabetes or heart attack and all that, what do you need to do? You have a choice to eat right, exercise, and get enough sleep. Or you can choose to eat whatever you want. I also love char kway teow, but I don't take it every day. And I certainly don't take it every week either. Okay? But all of you, you think you are young, you think your body is able to process all this faster and all that. But if you keep all these habits, they will catch up on you. I eat well partly out of fear, because both my parents were diabetics, and from the diabetes that led to cancer, and recurring cancer, and that led to their deaths. So it's partly that, but it's better to not be fear-driven. But in some ways, sometimes a little bit of fear helps. Right? Okay, a little bit of fear helps. Oh, I'm so scared, I don't want to fail my exam, otherwise my parents will scold me. Or I won't get a good job. So a little bit of fear is also useful. Okay, so the choice is always yours, because you have independent will, because we are not orangutans. Okay, that's what, as I said just now, that's what differentiates us from the apes and all the animals. We have independent will, we have our conscious will, we have our mental faculty, correct? All right. So whose choice is it? Whose will? Whose choice? Your choice. He wants to become a Silat expert or whatever. Abu wants to become a Silat expert, and he says, oh, he's got to sacrifice his body in a positive way. Okay? Well, that is a good point. If you are in fitness, if you are keen about fitness, you know that you need to build muscle. How do you build muscle? Can someone tell me? How do you build muscle in the gym? Exercise, yeah. What kind of exercise exactly do you need to do? Weights, yeah. Resistance training. And you have to do it until you feel the pain. Yes. But this is good pain. This is what Abu means in terms of sacrificing his body. He has to go through the pain. And when people train to become a martial arts expert and all that, they have that, or when you do kickboxing, I do kickboxing, for you to be strong, you have to keep punching that punching bag. Your trainer says, punch it 100 times. You feel like your hands are going to fall off, but you do it. You do it until you feel the pain until you overcome the pain, because that's when your muscle fibers rupture, you feel that pain, and that's when you grow muscle. You kick your friend?
No, I didn't like. My coach, a friend just same height, same body level as me. Sparring. I kick him, he kick me. That's why I said
not very hard lah.
After 100 times, I can move myself.
Yeah.
There's no punching back.
Yeah, no punching back. He has his friend, his sparring partner as his punching bag. Okay. Now this is under controlled conditions, but that's the way you build strength. You can never build strength, if there is no resistance. So similarly, for your own character, for your own habits and all that, about putting things first. If it doesn't cause some pain at the beginning, that means it's not quite working. Just like how you want to build muscle. Just like how you want to change a habit. You want to change a bad habit, it's very painful. Every day I eat char kway teow, I love it and all that. Suddenly somebody says, oh no, you shouldn't eat. Maybe, let me try to not eat it at all. Of course, it's very difficult, from 7 days of char kway teow to 0 days of char kway teow. So what do? You do it gradually, lah. Huh? You can learn to do it gradually. So from 7 char kway teow a week, maybe 3 char kway teow a week, and then down to 2, and then down to 1, and maybe once in 2 weeks. There are ways and means. There's so many ways to improve ourselves. So you just have to find a way that works for you. But don't think that a lot of these things are easy. Most of the time, who loves diamonds? I love diamonds. Okay, how is a diamond made? How is a diamond made? Thousands of years, not just years. Thousands of years. And what happens? What actually happens? You get a lump of carbon, a lump of coal, for example, and right miles and miles in the earth, what kind of pressure is being put on that piece of carbon, on that piece of coal? It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure for it to become a diamond, okay? And you imagine yourself as that lump of coal. You want to try and become a diamond, the kind of pain that you have to withstand. And then after that, they take you out from the mines. Still, you're not sellable yet. They have to cut you. And they have to use, because you're so hard, they have to use another diamond to cut you. They use another diamond to cut you, to bring out the best in you, to bring out your light, to bring out your beauty. Then you get a beautiful piece of diamond. That's why people pay thousands of dollars for it, because it's worthwhile to have. But was it an easy process to get a really beautiful piece of diamond? It's not an easy process. So you want to become a diamond, you choose. You have to go through all these things to build yourself up, but these things are not necessarily easy. If it's too easy, it's not worth having. If it is too easy, it is not worth having. It is very easy to be a couch potato. It is very easy to say, no, I'm not going to do that run the treadmill today because my friends have asked me to go for some drinks after work. Kan? I mean, you ask the ladies here, we're all adults. We also have this kind of challenges every day. To do the things that we know we need to do, but sometimes there are always distractions. There are always distractions. When I had my children, okay, at that time I was 27, and I wanted to raise them in a way that I felt might be good for them, okay? So I said to myself, I'm going to start reading to my children even before they were born. So I started reading. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I already started reading to her. It didn't matter to me that nobody was there. So all those Ladybird books, I don't know whether you went through all that when you were young. So I read every story. I read a story every night. And what was my investment? 15 minutes per night. One Ladybird book, that's all, 15 minutes. And when she was born, again, I continued that practice. And I as we mentioned earlier, you know, how quickly time flies. I did this for 6 years. It never felt too difficult because I told myself, it's only 15 minutes a day. And I was working. It was tough, I knew. I wasn't working now. It was very tough. But I told myself, it's okay, it's only 15 minutes a day. I have 24 hours in a day. When I come back from work, I come back at 6 o'clock, you know. I have from 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock, I have 5 hours. 5 times 60, how many minutes is that? 300 minutes, correct? 300 minutes. And I told myself, I cannot take 15 minutes from 300 minutes. How many percent is that? It's not even 10%, it's only 5%. Okay? But it was a consistent effort, just a small investment of time every day. And when my son was born, I did the same thing. And they could read when they were 4 years old. 4 years old, I started teaching them how to read. And it was easy for them to learn to read because the words were already in here. I had been reading to them. So mentally, the vocabulary had already been established. So it was easier to teach them. And when they went to school, you know, they loved books so much that they had no issue with studying or doing their homework. So after 6 years old, it was plain sailing. Once they went to school, I never had to like watch over their shoulder. Have you done your homework? Have you done your homework? Have you done this? Have you done that? So it was, yeah, it sounds a lot, right? Well, first 6 years, it sounds a lot. But really, it was only 15 minutes per night. So you think about what you want to achieve, okay? And if you don't start now, if you don't start making that small investment bit by bit, you really will never get there. It's all about baby steps. You know, some people don't like to read. With my children, it's like, there were nights when they would fight with me. Mommy, don't switch on the lights yet. I want to finish this book. Mommy, it's only 2 more pages, 2 more pages. And I was like, no, I need to switch on the lights. I need to switch on the, you need to sleep. Tomorrow got school. No, Mommy, it's Harry Potter. You know, no, she's just about to, you know, this person is just about to be killed by Voldemort and so forth. You know, but again, it wasn't achieved overnight. That tree, that rambutan tree, that durian tree, you cannot grow it within a week, within 2 weeks. So you have to think about what you want to achieve and the small steps that you can take regularly. That's why that question was important. What is one thing you could do now that you're not already doing, that if you did it regularly would make a big positive difference to your personal life? Think about this. Alright, this is the time self-management matrix. And we have 4 quadrants there. Okay? And then on the side there we have things that are important and not important. At the top, urgent and not urgent. So quadrant 1, you know, it means you can't sort this out now. Why? It's a crisis. Banjir. Or your parent, suddenly one of your parents, you know, got a heart attack. You got to send him or her to the hospital. That's a crisis. You've got to sort it out now. It is both urgent, it is important, it is pressing. Okay? Or your project. Because you have not been spending time on your project, suddenly, alamak, in 2 days' time is the deadline. Suddenly it becomes urgent and very important. Oh, cannot go out, no teh tarik, no movies, no nothing, come. I've got to finish my project because of this looming deadline. And then you have that section that is not important, but it's urgent. So for example, you're doing something, you know, you're in the middle of class, suddenly your mother calls, and then you say, Mommy, what is it? You know, no, it's nothing important. I just want to ask you about something, but don't worry. Okay, Mommy, I'll call you back later. I'm in the middle of class. So, yes, it's maybe not very important, but it may be urgent. So you put a mental note in your mind. Okay, when I'm done, I'm going to call my mommy. Okay, And you know, some mails or some reports when you start working, you know, some meetings, they might be urgent, but they're not like super important. And then you have that quadrant where, to me, it's best to do in moderation. They are neither urgent nor important. Okay? So, a lot of things that we do on Facebook, on Twitter, on WhatsApp, a lot of these things to me are really time wasters. They're neither urgent nor are they important. But if you are a gossip monger, for example, you get juicy piece of gossip, that's important to you, okay? Then that is, I don't think that's a principle-centered living. Okay? So things like that, you know, best to do in moderation. Going to the movies, you know, it's best to do in moderation. Don't go to the movies every day. And then there is that section where they are important, but they are not urgent. And for you to be an effective person, you have to do all these things every day. What are these? These are preventive activities. These are your plans. These are about building relationships. These are about finding new opportunities. Why did I want to read to my children? Because I want to build, I want to bond with them. And because I knew that if they associate reading with mommy's love, with mommy's bonding with mommy, I knew that when they got to school, they would not have any fear of books. Once you don't have any fear of books, then it's easy. Then it was easy for them to learn. Then their minds were open. For some of us, sometimes you see a book, you say, alamak, got to study, alamak, got to read. True? Okay? So, but this was what I wanted to do. I wanted to make my children love reading. And I built small steps. Okay? And I built that relationship with them. And there are some things, like finding new opportunities, which might not be urgent, but which are important. Yeah? Sheila, you want to share something with us? Okay. All right. So you look at your lives now and look at all the activities that you're doing and see which quadrant they are in. If you want to achieve your goals in life, which quadrant should you focus on? Yeah. Important, not urgent. So can you give me a situation where something is not urgent now, okay? But if you don't keep doing it, it may be urgent later. Savings, yeah. Physical fitness is one. Eating properly, that's another one, yeah. Physical fitness, eating properly, saving money, planning, yeah. All these things may not be super urgent now, but they are important. They're important for you to be effective. So as I said, which quadrant do you want to focus on? Because if you're the kind of person who always procrastinates, who doesn't plan, you know, and you're always in the crisis quadrant, what do you get? You get stress, you get burnout, and you're always putting out fires. You're in crisis management mode. Do you want to be that? Do you want to be that? Do you want to lead that kind of life? Not really, okay? I'm sure you don't want to lead that kind of life. And if most of your activities are in the not important but urgent quadrant, then it's always about short-term focus. Short-term focus. Oh, I get 50 ringgit allowance this week. Okay lah, spend everything. Spend everything by Monday. Suddenly, alamak, 6 more days to the week. Nothing to spend. Short-term focus, okay? Crisis management. Result might be a shadow of broken relationships because you didn't invest in that relationship. Feeling out of control. But if you are in the right quadrant, you have vision, you have perspective, you have your mission. You can achieve balance in your life. What kind of balance am I talking about? Of course, right now, you study hard and all that, but there has to be balance. You need to also spend time with your family, right? You need to also spend time with, some of your good friends, okay? And then there's discipline. Abu mentioned that for you to be a Silat person, what is he prepared to sacrifice? He needs to have discipline in his life. Discipline in terms of the physical training, mental discipline. Sometimes you feel the pain, but you have to keep punching right back. For you, that you want a stronger arm. You keep raising that dumbbell. Okay. So if you have most of your life lived in the second quadrant, then there are very few crises that you will have to handle. Okay? And I'm not even going to talk about what's going to happen if people live most of their lives in quadrant 4, focusing on those activities. Let's not go there. So how do you remain in the proactive quadrant? One tip is to maintain your focus. That's why I say, stick your personal mission next to your bathroom mirror. Read it every day. Remind yourself of it every day. If you have a vision board, look at your vision board. I had on my vision board, good job, somebody, you can take so many of these photos from the net and print them out and stick them onto your vision board. Okay? Look at it every day. That's how you maintain your focus. Okay? Learn to say no to unimportant things. And you can say no in so many ways, in so many nice ways. Hey, thanks for inviting me to the movies, thanks for thinking of me, but I really have a project I need to work on. And believe me, even I find difficulty sometimes, As I said, a lot of my friends are very important to me. And a lot of times I'll never say no to SIPJ events. So again, that's a priority in my life right now, to be able to do some charity work. So I prioritize. So in order to do that, I may need to set aside some evenings to work on this presentation, for example. So I maintain my focus because I want to try and make a difference in other people's lives. That's my mission. Okay, and you've got to learn to manage your time well. Have a list. I am 45 years old. I still have a list. I prepare a list every day of what I need to do. At work, I need to do this, I need to do that. Even when, I need to take some time off work to say, for example, go to the bank. I will actually put it down because it accounts for how I spend my time. And it gives you a sense of accomplishment if you're able to tick off the list. Who's into lists? Good. You're also into lists? Okay. Those of you who are not into the habit of preparing a list of what you need to do every day, try and start this. This is very important. And tell yourself, I want to try and complete 50% of the tasks on my list by 12 p.m. By 12 p.m. or by 1 o'clock. Okay? So this is how you manage time based on your priorities. So, in terms of practicing quadrant 2, like for example your holiday in Bali. What do you need to do? Have a vacation fund. Save every day. How much can you save? Can you smoke, as I said, maybe half a packet of cigarettes or 3/4 and then, sorry? Or stop smoking. Excellent idea, Faisal. Or stop smoking completely. Okay? Alright, we're going to have a quick exercise before lunch, practicing being in quadrant 2. Okay? We're done? So these are the answers you should have in your paper. Okay? 1 week to final exam. For economics, you got to cover 8 chapters, math 12 chapters, history 10 chapters, and the corresponding number of pages per day. 2 weeks, 4 chapters a week, 6 chapters for math, 5 chapters for history. And then the pages also reduce. But 4 weeks to exam, you have a lot more elbow room. Now you got to cover roughly about 2 chapters per week for economics, 3 chapters for math, 2.5 chapters for history. Pages per day, 6 pages, 9 pages, 8 pages. And if you have 8 weeks, it's even less. So what does this exercise show you? Make good use of your time. Time is something you cannot buy. Once it's gone, it's gone. So why not make the best use of what you have now? Okay? It is so easy. If you flip the paper around, that's how to make $1 million. You just flip the paper around, and this is not an exercise, but this is a demonstration of discipline and small steps. Okay. Let's say you're 20 years old now. Let's say you are, 25 and start working. And you say, try to save 300 ringgit a month. You put it in a unit trust or some investment vehicle that yields 10% per year. Okay? But don't choose something that's too risky. Don't choose something that, some land investment that you're not sure of. Make sure that it is, for example, an investment instrument that is regulated by the Securities Commission. So Steve Lim last week talked about saving, talked about unit trust and all that. See how easy it is to make $1 million ringgit with consistent effort. If the interest is compounded or the dividend is compounded 10% a year and you don't touch it at all, if you're 25, it takes about 35 years to make $1 million ringgit. And if you're looking at, say, in 20 years' time, even in 20 years' time, you already have 200 over 1,000 ringgit. What can you do with 200,000 ringgit? A lot, right? So is it impossible to become a millionaire? It's not. This is investment 101. This is what Steve was talking about last week, Steve Lim. If you were here for his talk. But you need to be disciplined. You know when I started investing? When I was 22. That was when I bought my first insurance plan. And it was an endowment plan. So it's a form of saving. Okay? And I started with 78 ringgit and 40 cents a month. And I paid it out of my scholarship. Okay? If you stick to 300 ringgit a month, now, in 35 years' time, you will become a millionaire. But if you start with 300 ringgit now, when you get a job, you up it to 500 ringgit, and then when you get your bonus or whatever, and you get another job, you get a pay rise, you up it to 700 ringgit or 1,000 ringgit a month, it reduces the time for you to become a millionaire. So, is it difficult or is it easy to become a millionaire? Is this definitely doable? Is 300 ringgit a lot? If you quit smoking, how much would you have? 420 ringgit, you can start investing now and become a millionaire in less than 35 years. So I just want to show you that this is, and this is based on compounded interest. That means you don't take out the money, you let it grow, okay? This is what Steve Lim talked about last week, about making money work for you. Making money and time work for you. Making money and time work in your favor. You have all these resources, why not use it? You're all still very young. All right. Next, I want to talk about principles of interdependency because this is very important. Why? Because in our lives, unless we want to become a hermit, we all have to interrelate to each other. Okay? In terms of interdependency, when we talk about the emotional bank account, your relationship with your parents, your relationship with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, your relationship with your friends, your loved ones. Everything is about the emotional bank account. What is a bank account? Bank account is you can put money in or you can withdraw money from it. So an emotional bank account is exactly that. Whatever good things you say, whatever sincere things you do for your friends or your parents or whatever, that goes inside the emotional bank account as deposits. But there are times when maybe you're not very, maybe you're tired, and then you come back and then your parents nag, and then you say something rude to them. That is a withdrawal. Okay? So, take care of the emotional bank account with all the people who are most important in your life. Your parents, your best friends. Because if you don't care about this emotional bank account, then for sure, the relationship will not be on a strong foundation. You will not be able to build trust and intimacy. And trust is very important. If I'm a parent and you're my daughter, if I trust you, then you can not to say get away, but I can trust you with a lot of things. You know that the trust is there. Do you think your parents trust you?
Yeah, to an extent.
To an extent. Why to an extent? Why not fully?
I feel like they're very protective.
Okay.
I feel like they may think that I can't make the right decisions.
Well, this is, I think all parents feel like that, especially when their children are about to enter into adulthood and stuff like that. There are a lot of responsibilities that come with being an adult. You have to be responsible for your own life. Even when you go out partying with friends, sometimes some people drink, and sometimes people don't know how to be responsible with, their drinking, and then they go back drunk. And if you're a girl, if you go back, if you're drunk, your faculties are off. There's so many things the guys can do to you. So these are all the things that parents like me worry about. Okay, so they are overprotective. But if you live your life in a way that you have put in a lot of deposits into your emotional bank account with your parents, and they trust you, and you are not going to do all those things, then it's a lot easier to manage the relationship going forward. So when you make a mistake, it's more easy for them to overlook that mistake or to forgive you. You find this to be true with your best friends? Oh, my best friend can do anything. I forgive him or her. Sometimes we treat our best friends better than we treat our loved ones, right? Okay? And what are the deposits that we can make into the emotional bank account? First is understanding. Second are little kindnesses and courtesies. Sincere, hello, how are you doing, so forth, if it's your best friend. Or if it's your girlfriend or boyfriend. Just a short, if you're not able to meet up, a short text message every day. Hey, how are you doing? You okay? I'm really busy now, maybe we can, catch a cup of coffee together maybe in 2 days' time. Is that okay with you? But if you're just the type of person who is so immersed in your own life that you don't really care about all these little courtesies, then for sure she'll go look for another, she or he will go look for another partner, for sure, okay? And you have to keep your commitments. Keep your commitments. If you say you're going to do something, then do it. And, but make sure that you don't overpromise. It is within your circle of influence, right? My mantra is always to under-promise and over-deliver. Okay, and that keeps a lot of people in my life happy. So if they say, can you do this and all that? I'm always very cautious. I never commit myself immediately. I always say, okay, let me check my schedule, and then I'll get back to you on this one. And I do get back to them and I say, if I can really do it, I will do it. I will say, you know, I'm committed to this and I will fulfill my commitment. But if my time is really stretched, I will tell them nicely, you know, I'm really sorry, I would love to, but I really can't make it this time. Do you need my help to try and find maybe another person who can do this? Or, you know, there's so many ways, there's so many nice ways to say no. Okay? And clarify expectations. You clarify your expectations, your parents. Your parents give you a hard time. You can ask your mother nicely rather than, Mommy, you know, what do you expect of me? You know, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. Not enough, ah? If you are a parent, you want to slap your child. So clarify expectations again. You know, Mommy, you know, maybe your parents have had a bad day at work or whatever. Mommy, I've already, if you feel that it is not reasonable, I've already done this, I've cleaned my room, I've saved my allowance, I've done you know, why are you still, you know, on my case? You know, something nice, you can do it in so many ways. And then your parents might say, they might say, okay, these are my expectations of you. This is how you clarify your expectations with your loved ones. Okay, showing personal integrity. You have to walk the talk. You have to walk the talk. Oh, you know, my idol is Nelson Mandela. But then one person goes to you and says, hey, you are? Nelson Mandela is all about forgiving the enemy, you know. Even the Dalai Lama is all about forgiving the enemy. But if you say, oh, my idol is Nelson Mandela, but you don't behave like Nelson Mandela, forget it, okay? You have to walk the talk. And you got to apologize sincerely for making mistakes. We're all human, we all make mistakes. Yeah? And if you actually for a person to say sorry, it takes a lot. It takes a strong character to be able to say sorry sincerely. I've made many mistakes, even in my workplace. There was one time I made a mistake. It was a printing error. And, you know, I went up to my boss and I said, I'm really sorry, you know, my staff did this, but since I'm the boss, I will take responsibility for it. And I said, I'm prepared to pay because the printing error causes some additional cost. And I said, yeah, I'm prepared to pay for my mistake. It's okay, you can deduct it from my salary. And then he looked at me and he said, yeah, the extra cost is 50,000, Surya. 50,000 ringgit. And I was like, okay, what do I say now? I said, yeah, can you deduct it from my salary monthly? No, in one lump sum. I mean, as in, you know. But then after that, because I was very sincere with my apology, he said, it's okay. No, don't worry about this. The company will cover this. But you see, you have to, this is what I mean about apologizing sincerely for a mistake, about walking the talk. You really have to believe in your values. You really have to live your values. If you don't believe in your principles, if your principles are just here, it's just lip service, then people will see through it. You may be able to pretend for a while that you are this, that you are that you are forgiving, that you can sincerely apologize for your mistake and so forth. But if after apologizing for my mistake, for example, I say something to her and then, you know, I hurt her feelings, saying, I'm really sorry, you know, I shouldn't have said that and so forth. And then behind her back, no lah, just say sorry, just to give her face lah. It's that kind of thing, you know. If you're going to do that, you might as well not apologize. Because you're not sincere. And you do this once, you know, people can say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You know, you can't keep fooling people. Eventually people will see through it. Eventually people will see through it, okay? So think about the emotional bank account and how you can make more withdrawals into the relationship with the loved ones in your life. All right. So, habits 1, 2, and 3 are really about achieving personal mastery. Okay? If you get the inside right, the outside will fall into place. There is a line from the Bible. Who's a Christian here? You're a Christian. There's a line from the Bible that says, you know, seek you first the kingdom of God, and everything else will be added unto you. Correct? What does that mean? I'm not quoting from the Bible because I'm a Christian. I'm not. But I read a lot of these texts and so forth. And I try to take whatever is positive from each one. So seek you first the kingdom. The kingdom of God is right here. It's inside your heart. It's about personal mastery. That's what the 7 habits is all about. God was talking about the 7 habits. Seek you first personal mastery, and you're able to achieve whatever you want to achieve in your life. That's what it means. So, if you want to have a positive impact on your children, on your family, on your community, on the whole world, you have to start with yourself. That's what personal mastery is about. If you cannot master yourself, if you cannot lead yourself, forget about conquering the world. Forget about leading others. So this is what habits 1, 2, and 3 are about. Okay? So now, before we break for lunch, Sheila is going to
wrap the 1, 2, 3.
Yes, wrap the 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Thanks. All right. So habit 1, 2, 3 is personal mastery, correct? It's about yourself. So habit 1 is what? All morning long. Habit 1. Proactive mindset, right? Habit 2. Begin with the head in mind, and habit 3. Put things first. So let's put this to test, right? Remember, she said the vision board. Positive reaffirmations. These are things that you have to do for yourself every day. So when you get up in the morning and look in the mirror, you don't look for the first white hair, the first pimple, but you actually say something good about yourself, correct? So let's try this out. I want you to read this out loud, but I want you to stand up first. Everybody stand up. Come closer to the front. So you can read it. Come up here. Come up here. Come up here. Everybody come up. Alright. So what does it say? I am the captain of my life. I am in the driver's seat of my destiny. I can choose my attitude and my happiness. My destiny is in my hands. I will succeed.
I am the captain of my life. I am in the driver's seat of my destiny. I can choose my attitude and my happiness. My destiny is in my hands. I will succeed.
Really? Based on what I just heard, I don't think anybody's going to succeed anywhere. You have to believe. Like she said, you have to believe in yourself. If you truly are the captain of your life, you will not be like a log floating in the sea. If you have no destiny, have you seen the log floating at sea? Yeah. It has no direction. One day it might land up on the beach. If you don't plan your career now, if you don't have a direction and a way to get there, you will be that log floating on the ocean. So if you don't want to be that and you want to be the captain and you really are in the driver's seat of your destiny, you choose your career, you choose your attitude, you choose to be happy, then I want you to truly read this as if you believe this is the destiny for you. Because if you read it the way you read it just now, you will continue to be that log floating in the sea. So do you believe in yourself?
Yes.
Are you the driver of your destiny?
Yes.
Is your life in your hands?
Yes.
Let's read it. 1, 2, 3.
I am the captain of my life. I am in the driver's seat of my destiny. I can choose my attitude and my happiness. My destiny is in my hands. I will succeed.
So the final test in order for me to believe that you can succeed is this. I'll give you a job. Personal mastery, right? I'm going to give you one simple task. Sheila there is going to do the timer for me. And the task is very easy. This is the product. I'm your customer. I want this product back to me, defect-free, in the fastest possible time. Any questions? Defect-free, yes. Oh, thank you for asking me what is a defect. A defect is if every person in this room does not touch this, it is considered a defect. Which means everybody in the room except for me and Sheila, everybody in the room must touch this and it must be returned to me in the fastest possible time. Can we do this?
Yeah.
Right, ready? Sheila, start.
Pass.
Everybody must touch. If you don't touch, it's a defect.
Is everyone done?
Everybody, your trainer hasn't touched. I don't think the people in the back of the room have touched.
Have you touched it?
Yes.
Rose, at the back.
At the back.
Okay, back.
Okay, timer stop. Sheila. Okay, timer jam. But I can tell you based on experience that probably took more than a minute. Okay? No planning, right? You think you can do better?
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, first, touch. All the participants, touch. Come here, touch.
Everybody touch. You better invite everybody.
Touch, ready? Touch it.
Not bad. 15 seconds. I've done this in a room of 100 people.
Oh.
100.
And the fastest time was 2 seconds. 2 seconds. All your age, do you think you can do it in 2 seconds?
Yeah.
Do you believe in yourself?
Yes.
Are you truly master of yourselves?
Yes.
If you believe in yourselves, which you just read to me a few minutes ago, I'll give you 3 minutes to very quickly discuss a strategy how you can all touch this and return it to me in under 2 seconds. Your time starts now. Strategize. Plan. Action.
Okay.
Get together.
Okay.
Go inside. Okay.
Amala, start.
Question keeper. Okay. Who has any plans?
Amala first.
The chair. Everybody put their hands up.
No, easier, just everyone to be in a circle, every single of them in a circle, and when she put it in, everyone just touch it and just give it to her. I believe that was 2 seconds.
Just touch. That's it. All you can do is touch. But make sure you invite everyone in the back to also touch. Don't only use decide and they are not invited.
Can we open the...
Someone stand and
Oh.
everybody make a circle, put their hands down, drop it. And
Alright. I can run fast. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Line up.
Line up. Put your hands like this.
Yes. We line up from here.
Line up.
Wait. Okay. Wait. Like this. So I can just run and touch. Remember the cameraman? Oh, no problem. Okay, are you guys ready? Your hand in position?
Yeah.
Right.
Ready, get set, go! As long as there's a challenge in life, as long as there's an opportunity to think through and give ideas and work as a team, you just proved from 1 minute to 15 seconds to 2 seconds, you achieve this. So do you believe in yourself?
Yes.
We believe in you too. Enjoy your lunch.